Hi friends, welcome back. How are you all? Shall we start? In this session, we will be discussing about a concept called elasticity of supply. See, we have studied a related concept in demand, right? We studied elasticity of demand. What is elasticity? It is the responsiveness of quantity demanded to a unit change in any of the factors influencing it, right? Similarly, elasticity of supply also is the same concept, no change. Same, ditto, ditto. Elasticity of supply is the responsiveness of quantity supplied to a unit change in any of the factors influencing it. Okay, so what are the meaning of elasticity of supply? Meaning means the responsiveness of quantity supplied to unit change in any of the factors affecting it. What is elasticity of supply? The responsiveness of quantity supplied of a commodity to a unit change in any of the factors influencing it. The responsiveness of quantity supplied of a commodity to a unit change in any of the factors influencing it. See, this factor can be either price of the good or any other factor which can be quantified, like price of the input as well as what? Price of substitute, right? So similar to the demand, there are factors which influence elasticity of supply. Okay, what are those? So the second point is factors influencing elasticity of supply. Okay, first and foremost factor or first factor is time period. See, if a producer has a lot of time, ample of time to adjust to a change in price, definitely the producer will be able to respond better, right? If the producer should respond within a short span of time, I don't think the producer will be able to act or respond appropriately. So, longer the period available to respond, more will be the elasticity of supply. Okay, then the second point is nature of the good. Nature of the good or nature of the commodity. See, take two commodities. One is a toy and the other is a fruit. Any fruit. Now, if a producer produces a toy, the producer can store the same thing for a long duration. It will not perish or it will not get spoiled. However, can the producer do the same thing for a food? Never. Definitely it will perish after a fixed period of time. Might be if the producer is taking adequate measures of protection, it can be postponed, but it can never be avoided. Right? So, in case of perishable goods, it will not be possible for the producer to stock or produce a lot within a short period of time. So naturally, for those goods, elasticity will be less. For non-perishable goods, okay, elasticity will be more. Now the third factor is capacity. Or production capacity. This refers to the number of units the producer will be able to produce with the given plant. Okay, in short run, remember the producer cannot alter the plant size, so therefore the production capacity is fixed. Now, if the producer has ample of capacity, he can produce any number of units. So naturally, the producer will be able to expand production in a short period. However, if the producer has only limited capacity, it will not be possible to change production within a short while. So higher the capacity, higher will be the elasticity of supply. Lower the capacity, lower will be the elasticity of supply. Then, production method, the next factor. See, there are two techniques of production, labor intensive, capital intensive. However, whatever be the technique, the method or the set of procedures have various level of complexities. Some products may be simple to produce, others may be highly complicated, may involve complicated steps not to get them produced. So if complications are high, if the good involves complicated procedures, then naturally it will not be able, we will not be able to expand or alter production in a short time. Therefore, for complicated production, elasticity will be less. If it is simple production, elasticity will be more. Then, stage of law of returns. What is this law of return? Remember? Law of variable proportion, 3 stages: increasing returns, diminishing returns, negative returns. Ignore negative returns, we don't want that. Ignore, complete. Only increasing returns and diminishing returns. Why? No producer will be foolish enough to operate in negative returns. So naturally we will have to consider only increasing and diminishing returns. If the phase of increasing returns is operating, if the producer is increasing a unit of variable factor, production or output will increase manifold, right? So the producer need not increase the input so much in order to increase production by a given quantity. However, if the case of diminishing returns, what will happen? In order to expand production to a given level, the producer will have to add too much of variable factor. Okay, so therefore, if in the case of increasing return, elasticity will be high because the producer can expand production in a short period. In the case of diminishing return, elasticity will be low. Then, future price expectation. This is a fundamental aspect in economics. Why? We are doing with human beings. Any producer is a human being, right? So naturally they will have their own perspective, their own prediction about the future. If the producer is expecting that in the future prices will increase, naturally the producer will have no incentive to increase production at present. Why? The production or the price is going to increase in the future. Why should I increase production now? I can produce then. On the contrary, if the producer expects prices to fall in the future, the producer will think, oh Lord, I don't want to incur those losses. I will produce more now. In the future, I will cut down production. That's not a problem for me. So, whatever be the future expectations of producer, that also will have a bearing on elasticity of supply. Next is the number of products. Okay, what is this? See, any producer will be involved in industry, right? Too many producers together form an industry. Let's say there are 4 producers and we each are producing different things, A, B, C and D. Okay, A, B, C and D. Suppose the price of D goes up. What will happen? People who are producing A, B and C, they will be persuaded or they will have an intention to shift over to D. Why? Because it offers prospect for more profit. So then, however, say the industry is not producing A, B and C, only D. Okay, now if the price of D falls, even then the producer will have no option but to continue the industry. We are assuming that within an industry movement is simple. Beyond an industry movement is tough. So if the number of products produced by the industry is large, elasticity will be high. If the number of products are small, elasticity will be low. This is regarding factors affecting elasticity of demand. Okay. Now, similar to elasticity of demand, let us discuss degrees of elasticity of supply. Degrees, basically we know there are 5. Perfectly inelastic, or ES is equal to 0. Let's see what happens here. This will be the X, O and Y, quantity, price. Whatever be the change in price, even if the price doubles or triples, there will be no change in quantity supplied. Whatever be the change in price, there will be no change in quantity supplied. What will happen? The supply curve will be lying parallel to y-axis. Okay, will be parallel to y-axis. So if ES is equal to 0, supply curve will be parallel to y-axis. ES is equal to 0. Now, after this we get inelastic supply. Zero less than ES less than 1. That is, what will happen here? The proportionate change in quantity will be lesser than proportionate change in price. So, quantity will change at a lesser rate than price. So, the curve will be almost a bit steep like this. ES less than 1. Okay. This is the case of relatively inelastic supply. Then there is unitary elastic supply. What will happen here? Proportionate or percentage change in quantity is equal to percentage change in price. If the price increases by 10%, quantity will also change by 10%. So what will be the curve, shape of the curve? The curve will be around like this. ES is equal to 1. Okay. The change in quantity will be equal to change in price. Then there is the case of elastic supply. ES greater than 1. What will happen here? Proportionate or percentage change in quantity will be greater than percentage change in price. That is, quantity will respond in a hyper fashion to the change in price. Okay, I mean, price may change by 1%, but quantity will change by more. So the curve will be a bit more steeper. It will be like this. ES greater than 1. Okay, change in quantity will be greater than change in price. Price may change by only a small bit, but quantity will change higher. The extreme is perfectly elastic supply. ES is equal to infinity. What will happen here? The price need not change at all. Price can be just constant. Quantity will change infinitely. You be whatever you like. The price be whatever be the same. No need of change in price. Quantity will keep on rising infinitely. So what will happen here? The curve will be parallel to the x-axis. Es is equal to infinity. So see, 0, the curve is coming like this. 0, less than 1, equal to 1, greater than 1, infinity. So this is about the degree of elasticity of supply. Now, tell me one thing. What will be the sign of elasticity of supply? Demand elasticity will be of negative sign. Why? Because of the law of demand. According to the law of demand, there is an inverse relationship between quantity demanded and price. As price increases, quantity will fall. According to the law of supply, there is a direct relationship between quantity supplied and price. Therefore, elasticity of supply will be greater than 0, or it will be positive, greater than or equal to 0. Okay, the sign will be plus. Now, let us discuss the measures. How do we measure elasticity of supply? In demand, we have many methods like percentage proportionate method, expenditure method, and so on. Here, basically, we are dealing with the first method is percentage or proportionate. What is the formula here? According to the percentage method, ES is equal to percentage delta in quantity divided by percentage delta in price. What will be percentage delta in quantity? Percentage delta Q is equal to Q1 minus Q0 by Q0 into 100. Similarly for T. The new quantity minus old quantity divided by old quantity into 100 gives the percentage change in quantity. New price minus old price divided by old price into 100 gives percentage change in price. Got it? According to the proportionate method, ES is equal to delta Q by delta P into P by Q. This you know, delta Q will be new quantity minus old quantity. Delta P will be new price minus old price. Now we have another method which is the geometric method. It is not seen much in your questions, but it is better to know this method. Okay, consider we have a supply curve like this. Q, P. We have a supply curve like this. S. Take a point here. According to the geometric method, elasticity will be greater than 1 here. Why? According to this method, elasticity is defined as upper segment by lower segment. That is, upper segment divided by lower segment. Okay, so here upper segment is longer, so EL greater than 1. When we are going to the midpoint, the midpoint here ES is equal to 1. Beyond the midpoint, upper segment will be small, lower segment will be long, ES less than 1. This is the only inference we can get from this method. There is one more thing we will have to learn, which is arc elasticity. You know the formula, but just I am noting it down. Okay, what will be arc elasticity? It will be delta Q by delta P into P1 plus P0 by Q1 plus Q0. Okay, this is the case of arc elasticity. Now let us discuss a few questions. Okay. Basically, you won't get much questions from geometric method. Now, 1. Initial price rupees 10. Quantity is equal to 20 units. New price is equal to rupees 12, and let's say quantity is equal to 30 units. What is ES? Find ES. First, let us do by percentage method. Before we start our procedure, let us write down what we have. Given, we know what P0 is equal to rupees 10. Q0 is equal to 20 units. P1 is equal to rupees 12. Q1 is equal to 30. What is delta P? P1 minus P, which is equal to rupees 2. Delta Q, Q1 minus Q is equal to 10. Okay, this is what we have. Now, using the percentage method, ES is equal to percentage delta Q by percentage delta P. So, what will be percentage delta Q and what will be percentage delta P? Percentage delta Q will be Q1 minus Q0 or delta Q by Q0 into 100. So, for percentage delta Q is equal to delta Q by Q into 100. That is 10 by 20 into 100 is equal to 50 percentage. Right. Now, what is the percentage delta P? This will also be delta P by P into 100. Right. What will be that? Delta P is 2, P is 10, is equal to 2 by 10 into 100 is equal to 20 percentage. Okay. Now, what will be ES? ES is equal to percentage delta Q by percentage delta P is equal to 50 percentage by 20 percentage is equal to 2.5. The sign is positive because of the direct relationship between supply and price. So this is about the percentage method. Now let us take the proportionate method to solve the same thing. According to proportionate method, ES is equal to delta Q by delta P into P by Q. We know everything. Delta Q is 10. Delta P is 2. Into P0 is 10 and Q0 is 20. Okay. Delta Q by delta P into P by Q is equal to 2.5. Basically, in both these methods, we will be getting almost the same answer always. So, elasticity of demand is 2.5. Now, let us take the case of arc elasticity. What will happen in arc elasticity? Arc ES is equal to delta Q by delta P into P1 plus P0 by Q1 plus Q0. Right. So what will be arc elasticity of demand? Arc elasticity of supply, I mean. Delta Q is 10. Delta P is 2. To P1 plus P0. 10 plus 12, 22 divided by 20 plus 30, 50. 1 by 5. This will be equal to 2.2. There is a difference of 0.3 between arc elasticity and price elasticity. Okay. Generally arc elasticity will have a different formula. Now, There is another form in which you can have a question. Okay, let's say your quantity is not given. Initial price is rupees 10, new price is rupees 11. And initially the revenue to the producer is equal to rupees 100. Here revenue becomes rupees 132. Okay, when the price was rupees 10, the producer earned 100 rupees. When the price became rupees 11, the revenue earned became 11 euro, means 132 rupees. So first of all, we need to get quantity. What is revenue? Price into quantity. Revenue equals price into quantity. Revenue equals price is equal to price into quantity. Okay, so let's take P0 we have is equal to rupees 10. Q0 will be revenue by price. Quantity is equal to revenue by price. So revenue 100 by 10 is equal to 10 units. P1 is equal to new price is rupees 11. New quantity will be new revenue by new price. Q1 is equal to 12 units. See here the revenue doesn't means the what revenue will the producer get on supplying whatever he wants to supply. This is the revenue we are giving here. Okay. So ES we will take the before that let us compute delta P and delta Q. Okay. Now delta P will be equal to P1 minus P0 is equal to rupees 1. And delta Q will be equal to Q1 minus Q0 is equal to 2 units. Now according to the proportionate method, we can take any method, but I am taking the proportionate method. ES is equal to delta Q by delta P into P by Q is equal to 2 by 1 into P10 by Q10. Therefore, ES is equal to 2. This is what we get. So, I think you have understood what is there in this. Now, just let us recap. First of all, we saw what is elasticity of demand. It is the responsiveness of the quantity demanded of a commodity to a unique change in any of the factors influencing it. Generally, the price of the commodity. What are the factors influencing elasticity of demand? There were 7. What are the nature of the good? Number of products. Come on, next nature of the good. Number of products. Production methods. Time period. Production capacity. Future expectations. Stage of law of returns. These are the 7 factors influencing elasticity. Then we saw about the degree of elasticity of demand. Perfectly inelastic, relatively inelastic, unitary elastic, relatively elastic, and perfectly elastic. Then we saw the methods of measuring price elasticity. Percentage proportionate method, geometric method, or elasticity method. So, before concluding, let me give you an announcement. We have come to the end of our discussion on producer behavior. From the next session onward, we will not be focusing just on producer or consumer. We will be focusing on the combination of both called market. Okay. So that will be taken in the next session. So till then, have a great time. Okay. So bye-bye.